Have you ever felt like life was burning you down to ashes? When everything you've built starts to crumble. But what if I told you that it's in these very moments that our true strength awakens? The ancient Egyptians knew this better than anyone. Their civilization faced difficult times, yet every time they rose from the ashes, stronger than before. In this video, I'm going to reveal the secrets of the Egyptian pharaohs that can help you get through the toughest moments of your life and emerge victorious. Watch until the end to discover how to use ancient wisdom to overcome any life challenges. Ancient Egypt is not just about magnificent pyramids and mysterious pharaohs. It's a story of incredible resilience, wisdom, and rebirth. Consider the symbolism of the phoenix, a bird that would die in flames only to be reborn even stronger. This myth was central to Egyptian culture, embodying the idea of eternal rebirth and renewal. The Egyptians believed that after every fall, there would always be a rise, and this belief inspired them to achieve great things. One of the most striking examples of Egyptian rebirth is the story of the Second Intermediate Period when Egypt was invaded by the Hyksos. These invaders established their rule in the northern part of the country, leading to division and crisis. It seemed as though all was lost, but at that moment, the Egyptians began to gather their strength. Southern rulers like Kamose and Ahmose organized resistance and eventually expelled the Hyksos, uniting the country under a single rule. This victory was not just military, it was also symbolic. The Egyptians proved to themselves and the world that their spirit was unbreakable. From this crisis, they emerged even more united and confident in their strength. This rebirth marked the beginning of the New Kingdom, one of the most powerful periods in Egyptian history. The Egyptians didn't just reclaim their lands, they became greater and more influential than ever before. But how did they do it? First, the Egyptians always maintained their faith in their traditions and gods. Their belief in the power of gods like Amun-Ra and the conviction that they were acting under divine will provided them with moral support. This faith allowed them to remain united and courageous even in the darkest times. When Egypt was under the rule of the Hyksos, temples and priests continued their work, supporting the people and preparing them for a new rise. Secondly, the Egyptians understood the importance of preparation and planning. They didn't rush into battle immediately. Kamose and Ahmose carefully planned their military campaigns, using strategy and cunning. They knew that strength wasn't always in the size of an army, but in the ability to use resources wisely. It was through these well-thought-out actions that they achieved a victory that seemed impossible. The Egyptians' return to power wasn't easy. It required time, effort, and immense inner strength. But every step along this path was aimed at restoring and strengthening the nation. The Egyptians understood that rebirth is a process that requires patience and resilience. They believed that every hardship strengthened them and made them more powerful. Interestingly, even during periods of external defeat, the Egyptians never considered themselves conquered. Their culture was built on the idea that every crisis is temporary and that true victory comes to those who are ready to fight to the end. This is why the Egyptians were able not only to regain their independence, but also to build one of the most powerful states of their time. We can learn a lot from the ancient Egyptians. In each of our lives, there are moments when it feels like everything is lost, that failure is inevitable. But it's important to remember that it's precisely in these moments that the path to a new beginning opens up. Every difficulty is a chance to become stronger. Every defeat is an opportunity for rebirth. The history of Egypt shows us that there is no crisis from which you cannot emerge victorious if you believe in yourself and act wisely. The phoenix rising from the ashes symbolizes not just physical rebirth, but spiritual renewal as well. The Egyptians believed that every new cycle brings new opportunities and strengths. This belief helped them overcome all the trials that life presented to them. By drawing inspiration from their example, we too can learn to rise after any fall and turn difficulties into our strengths. If you feel like life has backed you into a corner, remember the story of Egypt. Remember how this great people rose time and again after crises, becoming even more powerful. Remember that within each of us lies a strength capable of overcoming any hardship. All you need is to believe in yourself and not be afraid to act. Remember, you are stronger than you think. Today, we often face various challenges at work, in our personal lives, in relationships with others. Sometimes these difficulties seem insurmountable and we're ready to give up. But the ancient Egyptians teach us that the strength within us is unwavering. No matter how tough things get, it's important to remember that every crisis is the beginning of a new journey that will lead to even greater achievements. Think of the Egyptian pyramids, symbols of eternity and strength. These majestic structures have stood for thousands of years, enduring wars, natural disasters, and time. They remain unbreakable as symbols of resilience and power. And within us is that same strength, helping us withstand adversity and move forward no matter what. Rebirth isn't just about returning to a previous state. It's a process of transformation that makes us stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The Egyptians knew that every crisis is a chance to rethink their lives, find new paths, and reach a new level. It's important to use every difficulty as an opportunity for growth and development, not as a reason to despair. Remember Kamos and Ahamos rulers who weren't afraid to take responsibility for the rebirth of their nation. Their example shows us that leadership is not just about power, but about being willing to act in difficult times, to lead others, and to inspire them to do great things. Each of us has this leader within us, capable of rising above circumstances and turning challenges into victories. Ancient Egypt is not just history. It's lessons for each of us, lessons that show how important it is to maintain faith in ourselves, plan our actions, and never give up. These are lessons about how every failure can be the beginning of a new journey if you see it not as an end but as an opportunity for rebirth. When you face difficulties, remember the history of Egypt. Remember how this people, after going through crises and defeats, rebuilt and reached even greater heights. By drawing inspiration from their example, you can overcome any obstacles that stand in your way and turn them into your achievements. It's important to remember that rebirth is a process that begins within us. It's our willingness not to give up, our belief in a better future, and our ability to act despite fear and doubt. Each of us can be like the phoenix rising from the ashes if we find the courage and determination to move forward no matter what. The history of Egypt teaches us that true strength lies not in avoiding difficulties, but in the ability to overcome them and grow stronger. Draw inspiration from the example of the ancient Egyptians, and remember that every hardship is not an end, but the beginning of a new path that will lead you to even greater success and achievement.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment about how you practice inner peace. Your feedback is very important to us, and every like and comment helps us move forward and create even more inspiring content. Stay with us, and together we'll build our path to personal greatness.